Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. This program is for educational purposes only. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual sharing their testimony. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. Let's open up that Zoom room and let everyone in. We are so happy that you all are joining us today, and we're going to have a really special show today. We have two amazing guests, and they are basically going to do the show. So we have the phenomenal Ben Fuchs and the most amazing Yolanda Brown. So let me spotlight you, Ben, and I don't know. All right. And then I'll get Yolanda. So hello, Ben, how are you today?
Well, nice to see you, Ruth Allen. I think it would be really fun in a multi-level or a network marketing meeting if people got introduced as, here is this pharmacist. He's okay. Sometimes he's kind of dull, but he's all right. And there's Yolanda, and she's all right. Nothing special really, but because MLM, we're always like so hyperbolic, man. It's like, I was awesome, rock star, phenomenal, blah. You know, and I'm just kind of teasing a little bit, but I find myself being slightly embarrassed by introductions. That being said, I'm really excited because usually I'm the guy who gets introduced, but I don't get to introduce people that often. And so it's kind of an honor for me to introduce people who I admire and whose work I'm in awe of and I'm appreciative of, and not hyperbolically, no exaggeration. One of the really cool things about network marketing is it's really we focus on the financial stuff and the money stuff, but it's really we don't want to forget it's a platform for inspiration, especially in our business, health. You know, it's great to give people the facts, which I always give them the facts, but you also want people to be inspired, to feel like they can do it, and that there are avenues that they can take, approaches that they can take, not only to feel better in terms of their health, but also in terms of their finances. And the messages that we're getting on both fronts, from the medical model, as well as from the news and from the economic news specifically, is that it's kind of sucks. You know, the medical model, when somebody's sick, you're going to be on this medicine the rest of your life. Oh, there's nothing we can do. That's just part of being old. Oh, well, you know, your mother had this disease, that disease. Your father had this disease, that disease. Just in your genes. You just have to live with it. There's not much you can do, and we don't really know what causes this. It's just so uninspiring. And obviously, with what's going on in the world today, it's even less than uninspiring. It's downright scary. So I think as much as the facts are important, and I love talking about health and biology and how you can address your health challenges. I'm not marginalizing it or dismissing it. I'm going to be here to help answer questions as well. I think it's really important that we actually we focus on inspiration, psychological inspiration, mental inspiration, emotional inspiration, and of course, spiritual inspiration. The word inspiration really means inspire. It's about spirituality. And I think it's really important to remember that longevity gives us all an opportunity to inspire each other and to inspire our clients and customers and patients, either current clients and customers and patients, or our clients and customers and patients to be, in addition to, of course, our friends and our family. And that is why I am so excited to introduce Smiley Yolanda and Raymond. This is the first time I've ever seen her without Raymond, by the way. I don't know what happened to him. What'd you do with Raymond? How'd you separate yourself from your Siamese twin? Because Raymond and everything I say about Yolanda is true about her husband, Raymond, and I call them Rayo because they're always together. I've literally never seen them apart. This is the first time I've ever seen Yolanda by herself. But what they do with their business, and they're succeeding in their business in a way that we should all be watching, especially if you're growing your business, and you want to see how it's done or how you can do it, or you're having a problem with your business and you want to see what you may be doing wrong or what's available to you in terms of changing your fashion, changing your MO, how you're operating your business. Raymond and Yolanda's business is thriving, and it's thriving because they are nurturing it and cultivating it, just like you cultivate in a garden, and just like you nurture a baby, just like you grow a baby and you nurture your crops or your plants or whatever it is that you're gardening. They're doing out their business by using inspiration, by using spirituality, by using psychology, by using ideas that are above and beyond. Not that they're not doing the health part, because they got some really great health ideas. They've been there. I don't know if you guys know this, but Raymond and Yolanda are the ones that brought it's not my absolute favorite, my second favorite, or in my top 2 or 3 favorite longevity products, which is the Fucoid Z, to the marketplace. They were the visionaries, really, who understood how powerful that product is and how important it is to their business. So they do understand the health part, but they really understand that it's important to inspire people to approach the business from the same way we approach the body, holistically. I always talk about SMEP, spiritual, mental, emotional, physical. We talk about physical well-being. Raymond and Yolanda in their business use SMEP not necessarily only for physical well-being, but also to inspire people psychologically. And it is a beautiful thing to watch. And not only do they do it, not only do they take that approach and take that direction, but they do it with consistency. They grow their business with every week they're doing something. And every quarter or every couple of months they're doing something big. And I get to participate in it, and I'm always impressed to see how many people are participating in their group. And so for people who want to grow their business, people who want to start a business and want to have a big business, there's nobody better in longevity than Raymond and Yolanda and Soaring Eagles. Is that what are you calling it?
Majestic Eagles.
Majestic Eagles and Majestic Eagles, their organization, Majestic Eagles, to watch and pay attention to. One of the things that I learned as a young healthcare professional was this idea that you want to pay attention to people who are successful and you want to see what they're doing. I learned that when I started exploring self-help for myself personally, and when I started exploring entrepreneurship. Pay attention to people who are succeeding, and Raymond and Yolanda are succeeding, and the way they're succeeding is it's beautiful to watch, because not only is it important from a business perspective, it's important from a life perspective, it's important for psychological perspective, and it's important from a big picture cultural world perspective, because we're here to help change the world, and nobody exemplifies that more than Raymond and Yolanda and Majestic Eagles. So please give a warm round of applause. I always wanted to say that. I don't know, you can't really applaud out there in Zoom land, but give a warm round of applause to my dear friend, Yolanda Brown. Thank you so much.
Wow. You know, Ben, thank you. And words that you just said about me and my husband, Raymond. And the only reason why he isn't here today is that he had another appointment, another meeting that came today. And so other than that, yep, he would be right here and we would be saying something. So, but I just want you to know, I thank you for those kind words. But guys, I will tell you that it was like when we met Ben, it was this magnet, and it just like that, we knew him all along. And he really is part of our family. My husband really does consider him as his little brother, as he says. And I consider him as a mentor, friend as well. So, and I guess it's my brother-in-law, since it's my husband's little brother. So there you have it. And we learned so much from him. And then he breaks everything down so that you can understand it. So after I'm speaking, you get an opportunity to ask him questions, ask me questions, And you will see how he breaks everything down. But you also get an opportunity to see that on Fridays. So I just want to thank everybody that makes this call possible. Because when you have the different venues that you can come to and you can learn from, that's going to help you to grow. So today I'm really going to speak to you about you and your time and how it really is your time. So think about this. Spring is here. Spring is here. So the flowers are blooming, and some of you are sitting and looking, go, there aren't any flowers blooming where I am. Well, somewhere there is. And maybe if you can picture that and keep it in your mind as well as in your heart, flowers will always be blooming where you are. So the flowers are blooming. The sun is shining. And this season reminds us that it's time to come out of hibernation from the winter and to really spring into action. Make this season count. And the reason that I say that is that if you can picture the natural cycle of things, winter equals planning, planning, planning. Spring equals planting, planting. Now summer equals growth from the planning and the planting. And fall is harvest. So I want you to think about that cycle, that natural cycle that we have. And so it doesn't matter where you are right now in your business, because it could be winter for you. You could be planning, or you could actually be in the spring where you are planting. So today I'm going to ask you to be in the spring because you're planting. And I want you to spring into action. Because see, what happens here is that as soon as spring comes, there are so many distractions. Remember, we're coming out of hibernation. So there are so many distractions, such as vacations, graduations, barbecues, and more. And if we're not careful, we will let that momentum slip away. So let's talk about how we avoid that, how we keep the momentum, how we are springing and continue to spring into action. So the first thing that you want to do is to realize that the urgency is right now. It is right now, not tomorrow, not a minute from right now. It is right now. So people are motivated right now in the spring, think about it, to look better. Summer's coming. Gonna be wearing those bathing suits, so I got to get prepared in the spring. So they want to look better so that they can feel better. And of course, they will be able to do better. Now, what's our part in all of that? You see, in our business, when we stay consistent, we can help people to look better. We can help people to feel better. We can help them do better in life. You don't get any opportunities that are much better than that. So it's really up to you to realize that if you would just ask yourself this one question, what would happen if I pushed 30% harder right now? Spring into action. Make this season count. What would happen? Not only you can answer that question, but that's a challenge that I give to you. So what if you treated the next 60 days like your most important quarter of the year? The next 60 days. Where would that put you in the month of July? Think about it. Where would it put you in your business in the month of July? But you have to make sure that you're ready to spring into action. You have to make sure that you do want this season to count. Nobody is going to motivate you. When someone says to me, oh, I need motivation, I need somebody to motivate me, I'm like, well, maybe you need to step back and reevaluate where you are. No one can motivate you. You can motivate you. Now, you can be inspired by hearing people speak and do and say different things for you, but that motivation has to come from within. It's intrinsic. You can motivate you. Now you can take the words that you may hear from me, or you may hear from Ben, or you may hear from whomever it is, and apply them because you motivated yourself by being inspired by what someone said. So that's up to you. But understand that people are first. People are first in what we do here. And we have to be interested in them, not interesting. I hear so many people saying, well, I gotta tell people my story. I want you to go back to that old adage, what is the most important conversation that a person wants to talk about? It's themselves. Well, and many of us will say, oh, I don't like talking about myself. Oh yeah, give yourself an opportunity. You like talking about yourself. Let's be really authentic here. If we want to build our business, if we want to do it the right way, if we want to build ourselves, we've got to be honest with ourselves. So be interested and not interesting. So you see, business growth follows personal connection. So think about this a moment. Your business growth follows your personal connection. So you want to emphasize your relationships. Remember, old adage, it will never, ever change, because people are people. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care about them, what's happening with them. So when we're talking to people, we should be listening to them, actively listening to them. Now, we tell people that our approach includes the past, the present, and the future. What happened in the past? If they're looking for a business, what type of business are they looking for, bringing that to the present? And then what are your plans on increasing that business? Or if you want to be in a business, what does that look like as you move forward? Or if it's a condition, what type of medication were you on? How long have you been on that medication? How long have you had the condition? What are you doing about that? Are you interested in doing something natural? And then you take them to the future. If I loan you a brochure, or if I loaned you some point of something that they can take action with, whether it is sending them to a website, giving them a link, or something on social media, if you can give that to that person at that time, for them to know and learn more about what you have, that can help them. Remember, we are here to help them. So let's listen to people. We all know someone that may be struggling. We all know someone that may have a condition. We all know someone that may want to make some extra money. The question is, are we speaking to them? Are we listening to them? So that's what we have to look at. So remember, we are helping people spiritually, physically, and financially. So when you really look at how do we do that? So in the spring, people want to get in shape. They want to feel energized. Remember, the flowers are blooming. The sun is shining. They want to shed off that winter weight. And how can they do that? So you have to decide about where your passion is with your product. So pick a product. For us, it is ZRadical and Fucoid C because of the fucoidin. That's the product that we run with, we're passionate about. You may decide that your product is Hope. You may decide that your product is BTT. You may decide that maybe it's the Healthy Start Pack. Maybe it's Pollen Burst. I don't know. But for us, it is fucoidin found in ZRadical and Fucoid C. And we're passionate about it because we know it works. Energy. We know that it can help folks with energy and they can see fast results. Remember, we live in this world where people want immediate results. So we know that they're going to get fast results. We've had people to have better sleep, have more energy. We've even had them have even improving with their digestive system. less bloating, more clarity, which builds your confidence. So you think about those things as you are talking to someone. Remember, people are looking for something that's immediate. And that's where we have to make certain that we are there to listen to them and to support them in any way that we can. So immediate gratification from the physical perspective. They may have been on medication for 5 to 10 years, but if they start something natural, they want it to happen in 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Share this with you. And this actually happened. And you may be surprised to hear this, but we were actually having a gathering in our home. We call them happy, healthy hours. And so this person came into our home and they were coughing profusely. And we were like, oh my God, they're going to be coughing throughout the entire happy, healthy hour. So, and he was a little bit sarcastic. And he said, oh, I'm going to see if this stuff really works. So normally we will give everyone an opportunity to taste ZRadical at the end of a happy, healthy hour. Well, in this case, we were like, we got to give him something because no one's going to really hear anything tonight. So we gave him, we normally just give them 1 ounce. We gave him 4 ounces of the ZRadical, beginning of the meeting. This is what he did. He looked at his watch and he said, yeah, I'm going to see how this stuff really works. 17 seconds. He told us. He stopped coughing. There was not another cough throughout the rest of the evening. So you talk about immediate results, immediate gratification to someone that was very sarcastic. So we know it works. So all you have to do is remember that belief, and you have to know that what you have works. And if that person is willing to allow it to work, it will work for them. Now, it does not work for negative people, nor does it work for victims. People that just carry their condition on their shoulder, and that's where they want to keep it, and you're not going to take it away from them. You know, they may introduce themselves as, hi, my name is John, high blood pressure, Smith. So you have to realize that and let it go. We can only help those individuals that want to be helped. When people feel better quickly, they believe faster. Wow. When people feel better quickly, they believe faster. They believe in you. They believe in what you have faster. And when they believe in you or what you have, they buy. Oh my God. What a pretty doggone unique concept. When people feel better quickly, they believe faster. And when they believe, they buy in. Stop trying to convince people. You don't have to. What you have works. According in ZRadical, we know has over 3,000 studies on the National Library of Medicine, PubMed.gov, Harvard School of Medicine, Johns Hopkins, Baylor, Duke, have all done research. Research started back in 1970. Why am I convincing somebody? It's all there. It's all right there. Now, whether they believe it or not is on them, but I'm giving them that information, and I can put my hands up and know that it's non-biased. It's not me, not my company, that's basically giving them that research. Doesn't get any better than that, guys. It really doesn't. Anybody in this industry will tell you if you have something that is unique, you feature it and you can build your business. Ask any major leader in this industry on one product. But we have a host of products. So we are really in a very good situation. It's entirely up to you if you believe it or not. So we help people spiritually, mentally, and financially. So physical health, understand that. When people feel better quickly, they believe faster. And when they believe, they buy in. And what about our financial health? Many of us are in this business because we want to supplement our income. Or maybe one day we want to replace our income. Or maybe we want to give back to our church or charitable organization of choice, or whatever that may be. Whatever it may be, it is our dream. It's our goals. But we have to step back a moment, and we have to, again, be very honest with ourselves. And we have to say that some people are struggling. With all of the uncertainty that's going on in our world today, there are so many people that we can help. They don't want that uncertainty. They're struggling with their bills. They're struggling with the fact that they may not have a job. They're struggling with the fact that they want more freedom, but they don't know how to get it. They don't want to go out here and get a part-time gig, because that means that I got to be away from my house or my home, my family. I want to find something that I can work from the comfort of my home. And I can work anywhere at any time, in addition to my full-time gig, if I choose to keep that. But you know, that's what people want: choices, options. And we're giving them that too. So you have to realize that that freedom doesn't mean that someone says, I want to be a multi-millionaire or even a millionaire. I just want to have the freedom to do the things I want to do. And that's rich. That's richer than most. So that's what we have to realize. See, we get paid weekly, we get paid monthly. That weekly is that immediate gratification. Remember that they want something that works quick. So that immediate gratification. But then we have the residual piece. When someone buys the product once and they order over and over and over and over again, that's residual income. You don't have to go back to them and sell them every month because you did it right the first time. Auto ship. So let me just tell you a quick story of someone that was really looking for something, but didn't really understand this business, but love helping people. So she basically got into this business because she wanted to help her granddaughter in school. She was in college at the university, and she wanted to help her. She wanted to be able to give her some extra money each month. So she shared with her daughter and a niece, and they started sharing with people. And this lady did not know that they were sharing with people. She had no idea. And then she realized that she was getting energy and she just felt a lot better. And she had a condition that was a tumor and it was growing and it stopped. And she didn't realize that her daughter and her niece they were out there sharing with others. And she got a thank you check. That's what we called them. Thank you for going out there, sharing with other people. Thank you for sharing for helping to shape someone's life. Thank you for being able to realize that all you had to do was just listen to someone and you had an answer for them, for their challenge. Thank you checks. She got one. And it was about $300 and some odd, I think was the first one that she got. And then she got another one that was $500. And she called me in tears. And she was like, I think the company made a mistake that, I haven't done anything. And my husband, Raymond, basically said, well, you shared with someone. And we told her how it all worked. Even though we had told her before, it just didn't sink in until she got the thank you check. And she said, in tears, I'm on a fixed income, but now you guys have allowed me to fix my income. That's powerful, guys. That's what you have in your hands. That's what you are doing each and every day. If you just listen, stop and listen to the people that you're speaking to and realize it's the little things. It is the little things. People want options. So why don't you be the one who gives them options? We are so so powerful by simply giving folks hope. Absolutely amazing. So, and then think about personal growth. Ooh, physical, financial, spiritually, personal growth. Personal growth equals business growth. So you can't grow your business until you grow you. You hear that all the time, but I don't know if people really get it. You can't grow this business until you grow. You're not going to be able to earn the money in which you want to earn until you grow. That personal growth. That's what you really have to think about. So it's very simple now. You can read books. I'm kind of old school. I kind of like marking books sometimes, but then there are audio books. You have those as well. Then you have mentors. Oh, you know, Ben is our mentor. There we have other mentors outside of this industry. I'm sure you have mentors. And if you don't, I encourage you to get one or two. Let's start with one. Mentors. And then as you do that, you will see how you should spring into action so that you can spring your mind into action. So just use this spring, this season, to grow your mindset. I'll share a few books with you that you can either go buy and mark up or audio books, Kindle, whatever it may be. So I want you to think about one of our favorite business, How to Sell Network Marketing by Michael Oliver. So that is a great book for you to get without him having that anxiety of losing your friends. So you definitely want to get that book. And then there is 12 Pillars by Jim Rohn and Chris Widener. I think that may be how he pronounces his last name, but if not, whatever how it is, get the book. And then there's, of course, Return to Love and Divine Compensation by Marianne Williamson. Slight Edge by Jeff Olson is another great book. And then there is The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins, GoPro, Eric Worre, and then Atomic Habits by James Clear. Just a few. And you may have some others that I didn't mention. So whatever books inspire you as you're reading them, I challenge you to pick one book this spring, just one book this spring. Read it and apply it and watch your confidence grow. In fact, it may skyrocket. So finally, I'm going to say this to you. You've got all of these points that we talked about today, that power that's in you. But I'm going to ask you to do one last thing, and that is to take action. Spring is a short season. Opportunities are everywhere. The only difference between winners and watchers is action. The only difference between a person who wins and a person who watches is action. So take action. Are you going to share with one person a day, 2 people a day? Or if you're working 5 days, a person a day, so 5 individuals in a week? I don't know what you're going to do in your business or how you're going to share with people, but at least take the time and sit down and say, you know what, I can only do 1 a day. Then do 1 a day. But let's just say you decide that you're going to do 5, you work 5 days, you're going to do 1 a day, 5 reach outs. Of course, my recommendation is 2 a day. That has always been the recommendation in this industry, but let's just go with the 1 a day. So that means that you're going to do 5 reach outs, and then you're going to have follow-ups. Follow-ups are 24 to 48 hours. Think about your list of names. If you have never made a list of names, if you're dependent on your phone, the individuals in your phone, That doesn't work. I'm telling you right now. Write them down. Oh, that's old school, but you need to write them down. So, and then you want to, as you're following up, you want to step back and say 10 minutes, personal development, 10 minutes a day, just 10 minutes. And then maybe you share a product result. If you're good with social media, you can do it on social media. You can record it or you can just post it. And if you're not, maybe you just share that great result on a Thursday night call that we do, where you can share your story on the Happy Healthy Hour. Because the more that you begin to speak about it, the more you will believe in you. And the more of the stories that you hear, the more you can go out here and share with others. So that's it. That's the spring hustle, if you will. Simple, consistent action. Just, it's up to you how you want to plan your spring. But you do want to do it as you're planting. So if you didn't plan in the winter, you want to plan now and plant now in the spring so that you are ready for growth in the summer. And then harvest. Yes. One is Leo Tolstoy, who basically said, spring is a time of plans and projects. Think about it. It's not too hot and it's not too cold. You can really plan some things. Plan your business and plant your business. Do it now. Don't wait. And then Pablo Picasso says, action is the foundational key to all success. But here's my favorite to leave you with today. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Take the moment and make it perfect. I'm not sure who that author is, but this is your spring. Plant the seeds now. Water them daily. Come summer, you'll be ahead while others are slowing down. So all I can say to you right now is let's go out there, let's connect with people, let's have some fun, let's really grow personally and professionally and spiritually. And most importantly, I'll say it again and again, have fun, have fun, have fun. Let's spring into action. And I want to thank you for allowing me to spend this time with you. So now I'm going to flip this call back to Ben and to Ruth Ellen. And if you guys have any questions for Ben or for myself, we are more than happy to answer those questions.
I got some questions. That was great, Yolanda. Thank you so much. And I definitely have some questions for you, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Actually, do other people have questions? I don't want to hog the stage here. You said some really cool things. Love that. Planting and planting. So how do you know when to stop planting and start planting?
That's a good question. So I don't think you never, ever stop planting.
Uh-huh.
And you will never, ever stop planting.
Got it. Okay.
To me, those two are always, you're going back and forth.
Got it.
If you stop one, then if you stop the planting, there is no planting.
Got it. It's always springtime somewhere, and it's always winter somewhere. And I had a good friend of mine. He used to start drinking in the morning, and I always ask him about it. He said, "It's 5 o'clock somewhere."
That's right. That's right.
And I also loved, you said something so cool. You said pick a product, and I always tell people find one thing that you love. I would say pick a. You know, I'm a healthcare professional, so I would say pick a disease or pick a health challenge that's personal to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, something in your family, your friends, something you just happen to love, and just focus on that. Make yourself a resource on Alzheimer's disease, on autoimmunity, on MS, on skin problem, whatever it is. Find something that's passionate for you. And it doesn't even have to be health. It could be, business. It could be, right? It could be, like you said, you could pick a product that you like. Or if you're doing some of the side businesses, something like we saw that photo thing, the memory company. I forgot
Yeah,
what that's
that's
called.
right. Heritage
Yeah,
makers.
memory makers. So whatever it is, find something you love and don't try to cover every single angle. Just become passionate in one thing and study that one thing and love that one thing, because that's really important, that you really feel connected to whatever you're focusing on, because you're going to be reading about it when you're bored. You're going to be reading about it every day. You're going to be talking about it. You're going to be turning on podcasts that cover that particular subject, and become an expert in one thing so that you can help people. You can help people in that thing that you're passionate about. So that was really cool. You say pick a product. That's another cool thing, Pick a product that you love. You did that with the Fucoid and Fucoid Z. And then speaking of Fucoid and Fucoid Z, one of my favorite things that I said when I started talking, I said how much I love that product. And then I said, well, there's a couple other products I love. And I'm always looking for things that are multifunctional. Pharmacists love multifunctionality. And so our ultimate enzymes, crazy multifunctional. Glucogel caps, multifunctional. All our stuff that has to do, all our products, OsteoFX and glucogel caps, healthy bone and joint pack, while we focus on building bone and joints for folks who are dealing with osteoporosis or perhaps arthritis, what we should recognize is these connective tissue building supplements are multifunctional. So they help you with your heart, they help you with your blood vessels, they help you with your fascia, they help you with, in addition to your joints and bones that we market, they help you with your skin. Your OsteoFX they could relabel it and call it an anti-aging wrinkle product. Likewise, the glucogel caps. How you like that? Anything you do to build connective tissue, which is our healthy bone and joint pack and other connective tissue building products, is going to build connective tissue globally. So multifunctionality is really important, and nothing exemplifies multifunctionality more than the Fucoid Z, because it's working at a very fundamental level. This is what makes Fucoid Z so combination of so effective and so non-toxic and gentle. And that's another thing we pharmacists are always looking for, is the combination of benefits with no toxicity. Drug companies spend billions of dollars every year trying to find molecules that will give them one single benefit with no toxicity. With nutrition and with Fucoid Z, and I like Fucoid Z better than the ZRadical. They're both good, but the Fucoid Z is more concentrated. You get exactly that. You get what drug companies are spending billions of dollars for in a non-toxic nutritional supplement that's available over the counter. The reason it's so non-toxic and multifunctional is because its active ingredients are the most fundamental building blocks in the body. This is what accounts for its wide range of benefits. The active ingredient in the Fucoid Z, we all know, is fucoidin. And fucoidin is of a class of molecules that are known as polysaccharides. And the polysaccharides, simply poly means many, saccharides means sugar, simply means long chains of sugar, are the most fundamental building blocks in the body, along with amino acids. The amino acids and the polysaccharides are the two fundamental building blocks. And because both the amino acids and the polysaccharides are so fundamental, they have a wide range of benefits. And that's why, as Yolanda alluded to, there's so many articles, hundreds, if not thousands, of different articles on the Fucoid Z and fucoidin in general. The fucoidin, its fundamental nature means that it's going to be good as a building block, means it's going to be important for building everything. And that's really important that we understand this. You can use fucoidin to build anything in the body, tissue-wise. That means healing. If you post-surgery, everybody post-surgery should be on the Fucoid Z. In fact, pre-surgery, because healing begins as soon as the surgical cut, as soon as the surgeon starts to cut into the tissue, the healing process begins. So everybody who's going into surgery for a couple weeks before and then continuing post-surgery should be on the Fucoid Z. That represents a whole audience pool or customer pool for people to choose from, just with the Fucoid Z. And you're going to get the multiple benefits in addition to helping heal the body. I talked about earlier about skin and connective tissue building. Fucoid Z is a great anti-wrinkle product. It's great for people who are dealing with prolapses and hernias. These are all because of its functionality as a brick, if you will, for building tissue, specifically connective tissue, but also epithelial tissue, that is skin tissue as well. And then, of course, the Fucoid Z is electrical. The electricity in the Fucoid Z and the fucoidin is what accounts for its metabolic benefits, specifically around the blood and around the immune system. Now, we always talk here on the calls about the single root cause of all chronic degenerative disease. The reason why the triangle is so important, or as we call it now, the plane, we haven't come up with a good way of describing the 2 points on the triangle of disease. The reason why these 2 points, the digestive system and the blood sugar system, are so important to to address, and why they're so relevant when it comes to chronic diseases, because both of these points are where the blood becomes dirty. I call it dirty. If you're a medical person, you'll say hypercoagulable. That means it sticks readily. Fucoid Z.
Dirty.
What's that?
I like dirty better.
All right, dirty blood's a little more graphic. I like that too. Fucoid Z is a natural heparin. You know, if you go to surgery and they cut you open, the body will start to clot. The blood will start to clot because to the body, it doesn't know you're on a surgical table having an operation. It thinks you're in the African savannah. You just got bit by a lion. So it doesn't want you bleeding all over the grasslands, so it'll clot the blood. So post-surgery, blood clots become very something that the surgeons, the doctors have to be very careful of, and the patients have to be careful of. So they'll give you a natural blood thinner. It's called heparin. Well, guess what? Fucoid Z is a natural non-toxic version of heparin. So not only will it be good for post-surgery or post-trauma to kind of keep the blood from clotting, it's also a great way to facilitate the movement of the blood. And all disease is cell disease, but all cell disease is preceded by dirty blood. So Fucoid Z gives you multiple electrical benefits by improving circulation, meaning more nutrient delivery, more oxygen delivery, more detoxification. And then, of course, what everybody talks about when they talk about Fucoid Z is the ability to stimulate the immune system. And indeed, polysaccharides do just that. And fucoid being a powerful polysaccharide. So when Yolanda was talking, she's talking about fast results, talked about people want to get quick results, and that's absolutely the case. Quick results are very important. This is one of the beautiful things, one of the beautiful gifts that God gave us. And one of our secret weapons, frankly, one of Longevity's secret weapons, one of our secret weapons as distributors of longevity is this great gift that God gave us, which is the more deficient we are, the faster the body absorbs nutrients. And the sicker we are, the faster the body begins the turnaround process. That's our secret weapon. So, you know, everybody on this call, most people on this call anyway, have been supplementing and are hip to the world of supplementation, but still to this day, the vast, vast, vast majority of Americans and likely people around the world have no idea about the power of nutritional supplementation, and they're suffering needlessly, and their suffering represents an opportunity to demonstrate how quickly nutrition works, because of this idea that a dry sponge sucks up more water than a wet sponge. And because of this great gift that God gave us of the sicker we are, the faster we can begin to turn it around. So using nutritional supplementation, particularly liquid nutritional supplementation, but really all nutrients, not only represents an opportunity to help our fellows, our brothers and sisters heal, but also represents an opportunity for them to heal quickly. And it also represents an opportunity for you and your business to demonstrate the power of this stuff quickly. You don't need to put everybody, your patients on an entire program for them to see how powerful and how quickly nutrients can work when they're deficient. And that's one of our little secret weapons. And then also, of course, non-toxicity is also critical. And nutrients represent the epitome of non-toxic therapy, because nutrients are God's medicine. They're the medicine that the body was put together with. People always ask me, hey, you're a pharmacist. Why are you talking about nutrients? You should be talking about drugs. I say, nutrition is God's drugs. And as you know, I always say nutrients are what drugs dream they could be. When a drug goes to bed at night, when prednisone goes to bed at night, it dreams it was vitamin C. Because in its wildest imagination, it would be pluripotent, meaning have multiple benefits. It would be completely non-toxic, and it would be integrated and used by the body rather than get these Satan behind me. Do you know when prescription drugs are dosed, and when drug companies come up with the appropriate dose to tell the doctor that they have to give the patient, they have to add extra dosage to make up for the fact that the body is purifying the drug and eliminating it. So they have to give you a higher dose than you really need, because they got to account for the fact that the body wants to eliminate that medicine. Nutrients, on the other hand, are not only do they help you deal with whatever your health challenge is specifically, but they're integrated into the body so the body can use them for a whole wide range of functionality. And nutrients, all nutrients, or participate in hundreds, if not thousands, of different biochemical reactions. Then there was something else that here said here. I can't read my handwriting. We can only help people who want to be helped. This is so important. Guess what? As weird as it may sound, some people have an ulterior motive to be sick. And they'll come up with all kinds of reasons. They'll come up with all kinds of things, knocking the products or saying, my doctor told me this, and I don't trust you, and blah, 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 blah. Forget it. Move on.
That's right.
Don't help people who don't want to be helped. I always think of that Bugs Bunny cartoon where Bugs Bunny's trying to walk the little old lady across the street, and she's hitting him on the head with her umbrella. She doesn't want to be helped across the street. She wants to be left alone. We gotta leave people alone. And one of the hardest things we have to do for our loved ones, for our loved ones, the people we care about, and as any parent knows, you gotta watch your kids sometimes make bad decisions, and you gotta watch them. And if they don't, we're here not necessarily to give people product or even to help them with their health challenges. We're here for a very valuable purpose, and that is to give people options, to give people a choice, because they don't know they have a choice. The vast majority of people still to this day think that whatever the doctor said they have to do. Whatever the doctor diagnosed them with, that is it. They have to have that. They don't know that there's an option. And I know Yolanda and anybody who's been doing the business knows that people say, I didn't know that. Wasn't aware that I could do that. I thought I had to be on this medicine. I thought I had to. God, this sends chills up my spine when I hear this. I thought I had to have that organ taken out. I didn't know I had a choice. So just giving people the option is plenty. Let them make the choice. Just tell them there's another way if you're interested. And that's plenty valuable. And there's plenty customers out there. There's plenty people out there who need our help. Don't be afraid to move on. So thank you so much, Yolanda. That was awesome. I would love it if people would ask you questions like I said at the beginning, because what you bring to the table is so valuable, and it helps people as much as what I talk about when it comes to health and nutritional supplementation. What you're talking about is equally valuable. So I'd love it if people if they have questions of you. Ruth Ellen,
we do have two hands up. Okay. So Carol, if you'd like to unmute. Oops.
Okay. Hello, I'm a brand new representative. I'm a mother of 8, grandmother 25.
Wow.
Soon to have 26. I do birth work, but my real thing is for my personal self is I've removed all my heavy metals, and I've got blood sugar and blood pressure. I have a real issue with MSG with my blood pressure, if there's any MSG in the food. But I've just started the program, and my blood sugar still's hanging around 275, and I'm taking 4 sweeties 3 times a day. And I'm not doing any sugars, nothing white, bread, sugar, whatever. So I'm not sure if I should be adding anything or if I'm doing something different. I'm drinking about 45 to 50 ounces of water.
Do you want to answer that, Yolanda? You want me to answer that?
Ben, I am going to pass that one on to you.
Well, there's so many things going on here, Carol, and welcome aboard, by the way. And I don't know if you know who I am, but I'm always welcome questions if you want to reach out to me. Who signed you up?
Hattie.
Oh, right. Oh, Hattie. I think she told me about you today, maybe. Hattie called me this morning and said there are a couple people were going to be on the call. Is Hattie on the call?
Yes, she is, I believe. I saw her name earlier.
Okay, so I'm going to have to ask you a whole bunch of questions, and in the interest of time, I don't want to do that here because we only got 5 minutes. But let me just tell you a couple things about blood sugar, and you and I can have a conversation later this weekend with Hattie.
Okay.
Let me tell you a couple of things about blood sugar. There's 2 reasons why blood sugar goes up. 2 major reasons why blood sugar goes up. Number 1 is you eat sugar. And it doesn't matter if it's white or it's brown or it's honey or that the color of the sugar doesn't matter. Sugar is sugar, and bread will do it, and pasta will do it, and rice will do it, and pretty much everything we eat will do it, aside from fats. In other words, protein will get turned into sugar too. Steak will get turned into sugar. A hamburger will get turned into sugar. Fish will get turned into sugar. So, and the body's very efficient, by the way, at turning protein into sugar. So it's not just white. That's first of all.
Okay.
Blood sugar goes up because for two reasons. Number one, because you're putting sugar into the body in its many disguised forms. By the way, ketchup has sugar in it.
Yeah.
Mustard can have sugar in it. It's everywhere. I go to Whole Foods sometimes and buy, or not Whole Foods, Sprouts, which is kind of like a Whole Foods, and I buy a turkey. I don't do it anymore, but I used to buy these, they have these packaged roasted turkeys, which I love turkey. And all of a sudden I looked at the ingredient deck and I saw there was sugar in it, in the turkey. It's everywhere. They put it in everything. Who the heck puts sugar in turkey? So anyway, so you got to be careful there. And then secondly, and this is oftentimes missed, and it's very important to recognize that the second place where blood sugar becomes elevated is from stress. Watch your sugars, but and when we say stress, and this is also important, oftentimes we think mental stress and psychological stress, but stress can be physiologic as well. It have to do with inflammation. It can have to do with digestive toxicity. It can have to do with a lot of physiologic things that are going on inside the body. Degeneration inside the body will initiate a cortisol inflammatory response or cortisol anti-inflammatory response. So the second place blood sugar becomes elevated is from cortisol. So you may be watching your foods, but you have to deal with the whole cortisol issue. And if you have issues around anxiety or problems sleeping at night or weight gain around the middle, these are all signs of potential signs of elevated cortisol. So
I know I definitely have elevated cortisol, and I've been working on that to go to bed earlier.
Okay, well, there's lots of things you could do, and we could talk about that, but I just want you and people listening to recognize we think it's only food blood sugar, but it's also cortisol. Okay, so that could explain. 275 is obviously very high. Right. And then the third thing is, it's not just a supplement issue.
Okay.
So, allopathic nutrition. Okay. Allopathic means against disease. The science of allopathic medicine is the science where you take a disease and then you do something to fight it. That's called allopathy. Have you heard that term?
No, but thank you.
Okay, allopathy is when you fight disease. Allo means against, pathy means disease. Allopathy means you fight disease. We want to be very careful about using nutrition to fight specific diseases. Okay. Nutrition is to give the body the raw materials it needs so it can fight the disease. And so we want to be careful about what I call this for that. Oh, I got this problem, I take that supplement. That's not really how it works. So in order to take care of blood sugar, there's a lot of things you need. Not just the 4 sweeties, not just the 3 sweeties. It's a whole full spectrum of nutrients. And this is one of the cool things about longevity are the kits and the systems and the packs where we put things together. So you're going to want to focus on magnesium and niacin and selenium and sulfur and amino acids and proteins and all your ultimate EFAs, and there's a whole and the ultimate microbiome and digestive health and you got to work on the bile. You may say to yourself, "Oh my God, there's so much stuff," but that's good news because these are all different places to work. Yes, I'm sorry, Carol.
No, I'm excited to hear.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That's the right response. This is so exciting. There's so many different ways that I can approach this problem. And that's how you want to look at it. It's a multi-pronged approach that you want to take. And if you're not getting the results you want, that's how you want it. That's the angle that you want to take. And then also, there are other considerations that will help you with your blood sugar that involve things like your weight, blood circulation, and then I was happy to hear you say that you're drinking 50 ounces of water, but that's not even nowhere near enough. 50 ounces, you want to double that, even triple, like half a gallon. You want a gallon is about 128 ounces. So you want, that's 64 ounces will be a half gallon. You're not even doing a half gallon. You want a minimum of a half gallon a day to dilute the blood, particularly after you eat a meal and after first thing in the morning. Blood sugar becomes concentrated first thing in the morning because you've concentrated your blood. You've lost liquid when you sleep. You go to the bathroom once or twice, you sweat, you breathe, and you don't ingest any liquids for 6 to 8 hours. So first thing in the morning, the blood is concentrated. the blood sugar is elevated because the blood is concentrated. So first thing in the morning is important. Also, movement will shunt sugar from the blood into the muscle. So making sure that you're exercising, particularly moving after meals. Don't eat and then become sedentary, because that keeps the blood sugar high as well. These are all strategies that you can use above and beyond using 4 sweeties. And you really want 2 or 3 sweeties after every meal rather than just 4 sweeties a day. So there's lots of things you could do. I'm happy to help you out more personally. Maybe give us a call with Hattie this weekend, or call
Thank
Hattie
you.
3-way.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, you want to do one more?
I think she also had something around high blood pressure, but AJ also.
Okay, yeah, real quick on the high blood pressure. Okay, that's right. High blood pressure is a generic sign of duress. And the most likely duress is blood not getting to the organs. When blood does not get to the organs will send a signal to the brain, hey, get that pressure going. We need more blood. So the pressure goes up. So blood pressure is a sign that tissues are not getting perfused. And this is a general sign of systemic inflammation. And the systemic inflammation is linked to what we just talked about, which is dirty blood. Dirty blood, or blood becomes dirty from 2 major reasons. 3 in our culture, but 2 from a natural standpoint. I'll tell you what the third is here in a second. Number 1 is toxicity that enters through the intestine into the blood. Toxicity from foods, toxicity from the immune system, and toxicity from bacteria. Once that happens, that's called leaky gut. Everybody probably has heard of leaky gut. The blood becomes the blood immune system becomes activated, the blood becomes sludgy. So the number 1 cause of dirty blood is digestive, but the second major cause of dirty blood is sugar. In fact, as Carol probably knows, or any diabetic knows, you actually have to go every couple months to the doctor to see how fast your blood is becoming dirty, how fast your blood is becoming sugared, caramelized, if you will. What is that biological process called? Where the blood and other tissues, actually, other proteins become sugared?
Glycation.
Glycation, exactly. The blood glycates, and you actually have to have your blood glycation measured. Proteins in the blood are measured for glycation. They call it a hemoglobin A1C test, which everybody's heard of. So the second reason why the blood becomes sticky and sludgy is sugar. Both sugar and toxicity from the digestive tract that cause sticky, sludgy blood will cause a decrease or make the blood less likely to oxygenate and nutriate and detoxify the tissues. Signals will be sent to the brain, we need more pressure, and that causes the pressure to go up. There are nutrients you could use to drop the blood pressure, but as long as you have that sticky blood and the nutrients, the tissues aren't getting perfused, it's going to be difficult to counteract that bodily response, that response to the brain that says, hey, we need more pressure. Nonetheless, magnesium has antihypertensive effects, niacin has antihypertensive effects, vitamin E has antihypertensive effects, the aforementioned fucoid Z has antihypertensive effects, our ultimate enzymes have antihypertensive effects. Oxygen, slow deep breathing has antihypertensive effects. Movement has antihypertensive effects. One of my favorite ways to lower blood pressure quickly, because you remember we want to do this quickly, is a warm bath or a hot bath. That's why when you stand up after you take a hot bath, or while you're in the bathtub, even if you stand up, or a hot tub, if you stand up, you get dizzy. That's because your blood pressure drops so fast. So a quick way is to take a bath every day, or 2 baths every day, warm bath every day. And you can test this out yourself with a blood pressure cuff. So these are all great ways to lower your blood pressure. You want to regard elevated hypertension as number 1, a sign of sticky, sludgy blood, but also as a sign of general distress, because cortisol will also have a constricting effect as the body attempts to increase the pressure. And then the third way, which is something that we all want to account for, is if you have injections through the skin with toxins, and any toxins that injected through skin. And you say, why would everybody inject toxins through the skin? Well, we do. As part of our medical protocols, our genius medical professionals will think it's a good thing sometimes to stick toxins into your blood through your skin, and that can also cause blood issues. blood coagulation issues. So that's the third thing. Although for most people, it's going to be sugar and digestive toxicity. So that's for high blood pressure, and a lot of people have high blood pressure issues. That's extremely common. So I know we're going to run out of time here, but I want to see if there's one more question. Did you want to say something?
AJ.
You know, I can't let you two get off the screen without having to say, getting my 2 cents in here.
Yes, sir.
Number one, Yolanda, I'm thrilled to see you. Thank you very much for everything that you do for us. And Ben, you know, I think the world of you already. But Yolanda said a couple of very important things. I just want to reiterate. And by the way, folks, if you've missed anything that Yolanda said, email us at questions@dailywithdoc.com, and I will give you Marilyn and Phyllis's transcript of all the notes that they took about what and a quick question after was the fact that you said how touched that woman was when she got a small thank you check. And it really got me to thinking about, you know, a lot of other fixed income people that we speak to. You know, I can remember one guy saying to me, you know, $50 makes a difference for me.
Absolutely.
And if someone has got a sphere of influence, then they're buying, let's say they bought a bottle of Fucoid Z and then talking to their friends playing bridge, and they got 5 other people buying Fucoid Z, that can make a difference. So folks, if you have any interest in building a business, helping others, becoming part of the family, email us at questions@dailywithdoc and do so. If you were invited by someone, get back with that person because they have a way to help you. So, and then my quick question was, if either of you know, Ben, you touched on the very important pieces of digestive enzymes. There's a pack called the Power Pack, and it has the ZRadical, Tangy Tangerine 2.5, and a digestive enzyme in it. Why that combination of products?
Say the 3 things again with digestive enzymes.
It's the Ultimate Enzymes.
Yeah.
It's the ZRadical liquid.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Tangy Tangerine 2.5. Why that combination?
I can tell you what the combination. I don't know who designed it or what their thinking process, what their thought process was when they did it, but I can tell you how those 3 would work together. I can tell you how those 3 would work together. The ultimate enzymes are going to support blood circulation, and the Fucoid Z will support blood circulation, and that will improve nutrient delivery of the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Also, the ultimate enzymes are going to improve digestion, and if you take your Fucoid Z and your Beyond Tangy Tangerine with your meals, you'll improve the absorption of nutrients through the digestive process. And third of all, and this is really interesting because I don't think we talk about this anywhere near enough, because the Beyond Tangy Tangerine is acidic, it will help activate the ultimate enzymes and support the digestive process. So we should be drinking Beyond Tangy Tangerine with meals. Number one, that will improve, that will activate enzymes. Enzymes require acid for their activation. Number two, stomach acid will improve digestion. And number three, you will mitigate any of the issues, the problems people have sometimes with Beyond Tangy Tangerine, and that is quick absorption, that is too much nutrients that get into the intestine too quickly, leading to malabsorption of the nutrients, which pass through into the large intestine, pull water with it, and cause cramping or bloating or diarrhea or loose stools, which is one of the complaints that people have when they first start using Beyond Tangy Tangerine. You'll reduce the likelihood of that occurring if you use your Beyond Tangy Tangerine with meals, and you'll also improve, you'll activate the enzymes and improve the digestive process because the BTT is acidic. So I personally like the BTT, using the BTT with meals. I do it myself with meals. And then also that Power Pack would have support the absorption of all of the nutrients. And that might be what they were thinking. I don't know what they were thinking.
And then a Fucoid then...
the Fucoid, well, a couple things about the Fucoid. First of all, the Fucoid will get absorbed, utilized more effectively as well. And then also the Fucoid improves circulation and that will also improve delivery of nutrients into cells. So you get you get more bang for your nutrient buck when you use those three together. I'm not saying that's why they did that. I'm just telling you that's one of the things that can happen when you take all three of those. I don't know who did design that. You have to ask what their thought processes when they designed it. But those are things that can occur when you take those three products together.
Thank you, Yolanda. Any parting words for us?
The only thing that I can tell you with that power pack, Ben, I will also tell you that one of the things that we were just having conversations, and we were saying that we wanted people to be able to have something that was affordable, where they could get a combination of something to help with digestion, as well as getting the 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, along with the simple fact of with the Fucoidan as well. So
is that a Majestic Eagle? Is that a Majestic Eagle product, or did you put that together?
I can't say we put it together. We had conversations around it. So
okay, gotcha. I hadn't heard that.
So I can't. Nope. Please, no, not claiming we put that thing together. I don't want anybody to go out there and put that out there. So AJ, what I would end with is basically just saying to folks, you made a very good point. The lady that was on the fixed income, when she said, "I'll fix my own income," the only thing she wanted to do was earn $100 a month to send to her granddaughter. When she got that first check, and then 300 and then 500, she says, "I can now go out and buy me something. I haven't bought me something in a long time." So guys, that's what makes a difference in a person's life. You don't ever know how you're going to touch them, but if you don't share, you never will. Right. So all I can say to you is to go out, do your work. As a friend of mine says, that it's like being in a desert, knowing where the water is, and we don't tell anyone else about it. So we've got to go out and share. We've got to change the world. And the way that we change the world is by changing us. And the only way we do that is allowing people to know that those that want to be helped, we can. Those that want to fix their income, we can help them. So thank you guys again for allowing me to have this platform to let you know that you are the person that can make a difference. No one else but you. That's it.
Thank you, Yolanda.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. This was great having you both on. It was wonderful.
Hey, Ben, we got to do it again sometime.
I love it. You invite me anytime.
I would love that. Okay, we can schedule that. That's beautiful. So thank you so much, Yolanda. We did have a comment from Patty saying that I'll definitely be watching the recording of this call. Thanks, Yolanda and Ben. Amazing team. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm grateful that you came today and that you both were here. Also, my gratitude to both of you is just huge. I have had private conversations with both of you, and you're very good listeners and support system, and I'm grateful beyond words.
Absolutely. Well, guys, there would not be this call without each and every one of you. So to all of you that put this together, do not sell yourself short. You are the beginning and the end right here. So this has been Daily with Doc, but it was Daily with Ben and Yolanda and all of you today. So there you go.
Thank you so much. Ben, I know you have to go. Thank you so much.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
All right. So, all right. So thank you everyone for joining us. Have a great weekend, Ben. And this program was sponsored by dailywithdoc.com, and it was not meant to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any diseases. It was for educational purposes only. And thank you again, everyone, for coming. And we do have a call team. If anybody has questions or needs to talk to a health coach, it's 855-949-3377. And if your question did not get answered today, please email us at questions@dailywithdoc.com, and a health coach will get back in touch with you. And again, thank you. So I just want to introduce our team. So AJ is on the screen and right next to me. So he's the gentleman that has helped us get out on many of the platforms that you're watching us on currently. And then he also sends it out to more platforms later in the day or in the week, so that we get out on a lot of platforms. And then we have Kaylee, who is helping us with our social media. And she's out there helping on TikTok and other platforms. And we appreciate her. She was intern with us and now she is going to be more. So grateful for that. And then we have Marilyn, who is doing the transcription in the chat. And if you missed anything or you didn't hear something or you couldn't write it fast enough, then you could always take a picture of the chat. And then we have Albert, who is from South Africa. He's our security. He lets people into the meeting, and we are very grateful for him. And he's also on our call team. So in the middle of the night when we're sleeping, he's answering the phone. Then we have Phyllis Anderson, who is an amazing person. She helps Marilyn with the chat, and she also helps me with all of the platform chats. And so thank you for that. And she's also responsible for getting Doc on the radio, her and her husband. So thank you for that. And then we have Rod, who sent me a message. No, I was not. Okay, so Rod is also helping out on the different platforms and also helping let people in. He's also on phone team. And so you may get one of us if you call. My name is Ruth Ellen Sanchez. I am the executive production manager for Daily with Doc. And we want to send a shout out to Rebecca Dukes, who is not feeling well today. So we're all saying a little prayer for you, and we hope that you feel better really soon. And I want you all to have a phenomenal weekend. And I hope I didn't forget anything. Did I forget anything, AJ? Okay, cool. That's the winner. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful weekend. And remember to please be kind. Just be kind to people. You don't know what somebody's going through. So have a beautiful day, everyone. Thank you again. And we'll see you next week, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We have some great guests next week. So we'll see you then.
Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. This program is for educational purposes only. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual sharing their testimony. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have the faith founding father of the science of epigenetics, guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. This program is for educational purposes only. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual sharing their testimony. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics, guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel